Zero Caliber 2 is the newly released sequel to Zero Caliber and Zero Caliber Reloaded by developer X-Real Games out of Budapest. This game has set a new standard for virtual reality first-person shooters. This is a AAA caliber game with a full solo campaign, co-op support, PvP, and full mod support. This game rivals any console first-person shooter in terms of design quality, with the immersion and being there realism of virtual reality setting it apart from, and in many ways, above its flat-screen counterparts. Here are 14 things you didn't know about Zero Caliber 2. Probably. Number 1. You can conserve ammo. Zero Caliber 2 has limited ammo by default. However, if instead of simply discarding it, if you grab the partially depleted magazine and place it back in your ammo belt, you'll conserve the ammo that was left and it'll go back into your reserves. Number 2. The magazine belt is adjustable. Do you find yourself reaching for a magazine and coming back with a tactical knife or a grenade in your hand? The position of the ammo belt can be adjusted in the settings to make it much easier to reach for a magazine. It can be raised and lowered so that it can be placed in a position that is more natural for you to extend your arm and grab a magazine, and it can be moved away from your virtual body so that it's easier to see when glancing down and it's easier to access. Number 3. Ammo can be looted from enemies. If you find yourself running low on ammo with no supply crate within reach, you can grab a weapon from a downed enemy, take the magazine out of it, put it in your own magazine belt, and claim that ammo for yourself. Ammo is broken down into the 4 major categories of assault rifle, sniper rifle, shotguns, and pistols. The enemy weapon doesn't need to be the exact same weapon you're using, it only needs to use the same ammo archetype. Number 4. Attachments can be carried in your inventory. If you find an attachment laying around that you might not want to place on your gun right away, but you think you might need later, you can pick it up and put it in your inventory on your ammo belt. Any attachment can be stored this way, including sights, foregrips, and even grenade launchers. Number 5. Laser sights can be disabled. If you want to disable your laser sight so you don't give your position away when attempting to play stealthily, there's 3 main ways you can do it. The first way is to detach your laser sight and store it in your inventory. This takes a few seconds to do and requires one of your precious inventory slots. The second way is to rotate your gun to the side as if you're going to remove an attachment, and instead of grabbing the laser sight with your grip button, activate it with the trigger button. This will toggle it on or off. The third and perhaps most convenient way, when you're gripping the weapon with 2 hands, simply press the trigger on your offhand controller. This will toggle the laser sight on or off. Just remember, you can't do this if you have a grenade launcher attached, because this will fire the grenade launcher instead. Number 6. Scope zoom can be adjusted by the top button of your main hand, for example, the B button if you're right-handed. This allows you to zoom in while aiming down sight. Number 7. Sniper scopes can be used even when they're unattached. You can use a sniper scope much as you would a telescope, a pair of binoculars, or a rangefinder. If you find a sniper scope laying around on the map, you can pick it up, put it in your inventory, and use it to spot distant enemies or points of interest without having to attach it to your weapon. To change the zoom of the unattached scope, press the trigger of the controller of the hand that's holding it. Number 8. You can use grenades with one hand. If you want to throw a grenade while holding a weapon, you can depin the grenade with the upper button of the hand that's holding it. But a much cooler way to use a grenade with one hand is to grab the grenade with your offhand and use your teeth to pull the pin. To do this, just bring the grenade up close to your face and thus close to the VR headset. Pro tip, you don't actually need to bite the pin to pull it, although if you're like me, you're going to have a hard time not doing this. Number 9. You can place a weapon in attachment mode with your offhand. Instead of holding the weapon with your main hand and rotating it toward you, grab it with your offhand and rotate it toward you. This will keep your main hand free in case you need to quickly reach for a secondary or grab a grenade. This can also make it a bit easier to remove the attachments from the end of particularly long weapons, such as removing silencers from sniper rifles and assault rifles. Number 10. Quick loading pistols. You can quickly reload a pistol with one hand by simply ejecting the magazine, then touching the pistol to your ammo belt. If the magazine was completely empty, you can reset the slide and chamber your first round with the top button of your main hand controller. Number 11. Akimbo Pistols. Because pistols can be quickly reloaded this way using only one hand, this means you can use 2 pistols at the same time, otherwise known as Akimbo Pistols. When you run out of ammo, eject the empty magazines, touch them to your ammo belt, reset the slide, and continue the carnage. Number 12. Melee weapons aren't your only melee weapons. If you find yourself in a pinch, you don't necessarily have to reach for your tactical knife. You can melee an enemy with the butt of your rifle, or you can pistol whip them into submission. In fact, almost everything you can pick up in the game can be used as an ad hoc melee weapon to conk an enemy with, which can make for some really fun and funny gameplay and can also make for some great clips. Number 13. Smoke grenades are very effective against NPCs. Smoke grenades completely obscure the vision of NPCs. They can't see through them at all, whereas a player often can. If there's a smoke grenade between you and an enemy NPC, they literally cannot shoot you, whereas you can still shoot them. And number 14. Targets can be acquired much faster with low magnification sights such as red dots and iron sights than they can with high magnification scopes such as ACOGs and sniper scopes. The reason for this is that presumably to offset the natural shakiness in the human hand, there's a bit of a lag or a delay baked into the adjustment of a weapon when using a high magnification scope. Of particular interest is the fact that dual optics, although they have a low zoom sight coupled with a higher magnification scope such as an ACOG, the low zoom sight is affected by this delay as well. The net result of this is that iron sights and low zoom sights such as red dots, although they're less accurate, particularly at range, they have much faster target acquisition. Well guys, that's it. That's 14 things that if you didn't know them about Zero Caliber 2 before, you do now. For product reviews, game reviews, awesome gameplay, and more tips, tricks, and hints, subscribe to the Decrepit Gamer channel. Thanks for checking out my content. I really appreciate you guys. This is Cayman Wolf, the Decrepit Gamer, reminding you that you're never too old to game. And my friends, I am out.
The Decrepit Gamer, don't you give me no whack. Got my console, got my stacks, and I'm ready to frag. Who says YouTube, oh, the be a digital night? I'll be rated in my slippers till the morning light.